So I suppose in this sort of video, it might be worth a little bit of a discussion about how procurement itself is going to be impacted by AI, because it's a understandable anecdote that could be used to any business process. And if you think about procurement, it's a lot of data in procurement. There's a lot of analysis and consumption of data that will ultimately help us all make buying decisions. So a lot of people, especially major corporates, are looking at things like source to pay packages, which are designed to make the whole procurement process a lot more efficient. And AI can clearly make a big strides into how to make that a lot more efficient. So if you work through sort of the general structure of a procurement function, you've got things like sourcing. Now sourcing, for those of you not in the procurement function, is really all about how you actually buy or award contracts for new services and products, services and goods. And from an AI perspective, you can do all sorts of things with this. It's work through a sourcing process. So typically a procurement person will understand requirements. Now, requirements are quite difficult to write sometimes, and some of our stakeholders don't always understand what those requirements should be. You could quite easily jump on ChatGPT and say, please write me a brilliant set of requirements for a specific situation, a new finance tool that has got a consideration for the medical industry that services 100,000 users across 20 different countries, factoring all the different languages from Asia and Europe. And so with an appropriately crafted prompt in ChatGPT, you could get your requirements written generically and then present that to your stakeholder, and your stakeholder can review it. And it means they haven't got a blank sheet of paper. They can challenge the things that ChatGPT has come up with and come up with a good set of requirements that'll help with that sort of side of things. Generally, once you've got your requirements written down, which is pretty much stage one, you then need to do some market intelligence. So you could again go out to ChatGPT and say, please provide me with all of the suppliers within 20 miles of my location that specialize in finance systems for the medical industry. Give me 3 case studies on their website, their turnover, and their ISO 9001 accreditation status. Again, normally procurement people would use desk-based research to go and find suppliers for that. You could do it in seconds using ChatGPT, because that would go off and do all the hard desk-based research for you. The next phase, you've got your long list, your market research and your market intelligence. Simplistically, you would send out a document to suppliers. Now, AI can't really help with the communication side. Well, it can, but you can't really help with the communication things easily. But your RFP that has been written with the requirements and all of the other things that you want to incorporate in your set to go out to market has been written by AI. You've got your long list of suppliers helped by AI. You then need to engage with your suppliers. That's pretty straightforward. You can email them or whatever you choose to use. Or if you've got really advanced source to pay practices, you could automatically email the requirements to all of the people on your supplier lists. You can see where AI helps there. And then that makes that very efficient. Responses then come in. Funny enough, AI can read those responses and summarize them for you and create a table showing how all those suppliers have met their requirements and compare the prices and all those sorts of things that procurement typically do themselves. And they could even take it as far as say, and show me, recommend which supplier I should use on the back of this process. So AI can add value throughout the whole sourcing process. Then you get into contracting. You can ask AI to review people's terms and conditions if you haven't got your own, identify any risks and areas for negotiation. You can see where AI can help. It consumes information and it spews out a result that, if you've trained it correctly and you're aware of how the decisions are being made, fundamentally you can do some quite cool things very easily using AI engines. So the sourcing process is rife for AI improvement. I don't think it'll ever replace human-to-human interaction between suppliers and buyers. I think the move of the procurement professional is really more about relationship management and your ability to engage with the suppliers at a human level, because a lot of the data analysis and more sort of automated stuff, or things that can be automated, are likely to be AI driven in the future. And then you look at things like contract management. I won't go through the whole process for contract management, but you've done your sourcing, your contract management, post-award contract management. You can use AI to consume metrics about how services are running. You can use AI to compare how the service is running to what's in the contract. All these things are just data sources, feeds of data you pass into an AI engine, and it will make appropriate decisions or make recommendations or assimilate reports for you. And then ultimately, your contract is working okay. You can use AI to interface to your finance systems to pay invoices when the contract's been delivered, etc. So AI will make a massive difference to procurement. It isn't doing it just yet, but in the next couple of years, I think things will start to build out to become a lot more AI friendly. One of the biggest hindrances to procurement or any business process adoption of AI is available data. So if you haven't got all of your contracts in one place, or your suppliers in an online list, or data available for an AI engine to use, you're going to be hindered by that as a problem for AI to be able to consume that data. So as a procurement team, it's worth maybe investing a bit of time in looking at how you can get your data into a structured and easy to accessible form for when the machines come in and offer you help to remove yourself from some of those mundane tasks. And even things like Copilot in Word, etc. Some of these tasks can be done in isolation of you having perfect data already. I suppose people, as a result of that little segment, might be a bit nervous about their jobs. I still think there's a lot of procurement activity that you can't actually automate. As I mentioned previously, the relationship aspects are important. The stakeholder management piece is very, very important. A lot of the people-to-people type stuff, I don't think AI in the short term or even the medium term will replace. And so the role of procurement is going to be very much about moving into human-to-human interaction. The AI engines also will probably start looking at machine-to-machine interactions. And so that's where you've got an AI and a supplier sitting there waiting for instruction, an AI and a buyer saying, I want to buy some stuff, an AI agent in buyer says to supplier AI, give me a proposal. AI supplier gives it back. And so you could get a fully automated, slightly scary buying process where AIs are talking to each other to get there. But we are probably 5 to 10 years off that, and for it to be reliable. And in that context, I would say procurement have definitely got a role to play. But where it's heading, in reality, I think AI, in my view, in the broader job market and in procurement, just makes your life more interesting. People never used to get scared, or people were scared about the Industrial Revolution, replacing horses with wagons and automated cars. That was a big thing. Right now we are going through a bit of a societal revolution. Procurement need to either get on board with it, or they need to try and resist it at their peril, because in reality you're not going to stop this train just now. But nothing to be scared about. If you're prepared for it and you understand what's going on in the context of how AI works and the risks we talked about already, you should be fine.